Welcome back to another video. I am the Doc Jedi, and today we have another lightsaber review. We'll be going over this beautiful Obi-Wan Kenobi Padawan hilt from 89 Sabers. Let's get into it. Now we have the tail of the tape. So before we get the lightsaber fired up and going over all the cool fonts and things that this can do, let's get over some specifics and the details. I will have timestamps below, so if you don't want to nerd over this like me, you can go ahead and skip ahead to the actual demo of the Saber. This is installed with a Profi board. It's by far the best soundboard you can have in a Saber. This is installed with a standard 1-inch diameter NeoPixel blade. It comes in at 32, or it's a 36-inch blade, sorry, but they have options, so you can get the 32 if you want. The hilt is 11.5 inches. I don't know if you can tell, but the diameter of it, it's very small, so it feels super good in the hand. The pommel's small, the handle's small, and even up to the emitter. It's just really uniform, and it's a skinny saber, and I really like that. Super easy to twirl, do your Obi-Wan twirls. Just a really great saber in the hand. It was $625 when I purchased it. That was probably 5 years ago. So it has gone up on their site. Now it's $699, so it isn't much more expensive, but so is everything. They do have a 20% site-wide sale starting on July 29th. That should be around when this video is coming out. So you can go over there and check out this saber and any other hilts that you want. Again, this was on Korbanth, but it is an 89 Saber hilt. And I do highly recommend Korbanth. They are one of the top distributors, in my opinion. They have great customer service. The one thing I will say is the shipping time can take a while. For this particular saber, it took, I think, about 6 months to get in, which isn't abnormal for them from what I've heard and what I've seen. But I will say this was a pre-order, so that's probably why I had such a long wait time. Okay, welcome to the unboxing portion of this video. Obviously, we have the 89 Sabers logo on the box. This box is perfect. I love it. You can kind of tell there's a little texture on it. Just looks really nice. Even when it's the Sabers packaged away, it's still a cool display. This is exactly how it came. Everything's still in it. So here we go. Obviously, here we have our instructions for how to charge it and such. Then we have the hilt itself. Something I love about 89 Sabers is the packaging. How it's perfectly cut out to match the saber. So here we go. Focus. And then here it is. It came with this blade plug, which I love. A lot of the blade plugs don't look very great. It's a very sleek design. When it's on, you get this. Here we go. Get that cool little light display. Set that back here. This is an optional piece to switch here. This just comes. And so you can switch that out if you want. The real advantage to that is that this one has those holes the D-ring on if you want to clip it to your belt without the CoverTech wheel. Your Allen screws or Allen keys, whatever you want to call it. And then here we have the charger and the cord. Something I really like about this charger is how while you're charging, it'll give you battery. So it'll tell you how, like, what point you're at, how much longer you need to charge it for. And then again, to get to that, and if you want to get to here, all you have to do, slide this off, put my thumb here, just slide it down, and you just pull it out. So I'm just going to keep it in here, but that's all you have to do. From there you can access the board if you want to add your own fonts or whatnot. I have not added any font to this, just what it came with. I'm going to reassemble this, and then I'll see you guys at the demo. Now that we have unboxed and gone over the details about it, let's put the blade in and fire it up. Gotta slide it in, and then this has a single Allen key retention screw, which I really like. Some of my other ones have multiple, and I find it pushes on the blade wheel and can kind of start to damage the blade. So I really like the one retention screw. And again, this is your basic 2-button setup. So you have your power button and your auxiliary button. So to turn it on, what I really like about this is how you get to the chassis. This is your CoverTech wheel where you can hang it off your belt. Unscrew that. You rotate this over, and here's your chassis. Again, you just got to turn the switch on, which I love when sabers have a kill switch. It makes it a lot easier to store. So here you go.
Good job.
You got Obi-Wan obviously telling you good job. That's a cool little touch. You just gotta line that up, screw it on, and here we go.
Only a Sith deals in absolutes. I will do what I must.
So again, you can hit the auxiliary button, gives you a little, tells you what font you're on, and obviously this is Obi-Wan. And it does have smooth swing. And then if you hit auxiliary button, you get blaster deflection. So you can hold down while it's on, you can hold down the power button for 2 seconds, and you'll get either a force effect or another quote from the character. So here you go.
Don't try it.
Obviously that's from episode 3. Got 3 seconds.
Sith Lords are our specialty. Your move.
So again, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, and 4 seconds. They have different quotes installed. And you can turn it off again. Here we go. For the sabers on, if you hold down for 2 seconds, you get music to play.
I don't think so.
And then you just gotta hold down for 2 seconds while the saber's off to stop the music. So now let's turn the lights off, see how it looks in the dark, and then we'll flip through some of the fonts. So let's click on another font here.
Something inside me has always been there, but now it's awake.
It's super bright in the dark. I mean, it almost hurts to look at. And then another small detail I really like are these. I think it looks super cool. Then again,
The Dark Saber.
this one's awesome. This is a dark saber, obviously. And here we go.
Have you ever seen one of these?
I mean, I think that's one of the best sounds in Star Wars. So cool.
The Dark Saber doesn't have power. The story does. Liable to put an eye out for these. This party's over.
Got Mace Windu.
You have lost.
As you see, my Jedi powers are far beyond yours.
Count Dooku is one of my favorite characters. Now, one of my complaints I do have is there's no real vent holes or speaker holes in the bottom. So I don't know if you can hear it, but sometimes when you swing, it comes over a little grumbly or growly. Let's see if we can hear that right here. Just a little bit. It's nothing too bad.
I am your father.
I think this is one of the coolest fonts. So you have the super slow ignition. There you go. And then it constantly has him breathing on this, which is such a cool touch.
If you only knew the power of the dark side. The Force is with you, young Skywalker. Traitor!
And I kind of got that broken blade style that he has. And
Always a pleasure to meet a Jedi.
This Boba Fett one is really cool. I love the slow, like, kind of crackles of the light in there that kind of reflects his armor. And obviously for the auxiliary button, instead of blaster deflection, you have his blasters. This TIE Fighter one's also one of my favorites. But listen to the sound. And here's your auxiliary button. And that's sweet. That's a really unique font that I love.
The old man's gonna knock on the sky. Listen to the sound.
So then it has some other fonts that aren't Star Wars associated. This is a Tron one. It does have a really cool so the blade effects on that one are really cool. I wasn't sure what to think of this one when I first heard it. I was like, okay, Flash Gordon, that's what the sound sounds like. And this is what you got. So literally just a flashlight. That's awesome.
This weapon is your life.
And we're back to Obi-Wan. So my final thoughts on this saber are pretty high. I mean, it feels great in the hand. It's super easy to spin. My only real complaints, I have two, are obviously the sound. There's no speaker vents in the bottom, so it comes across pretty grumbly, which is annoying. The other one are these buttons. Your two buttons, and then these little covers. After you spin it for a while, they start to come loose. So you just gotta tighten them. This power button especially comes a little loose. And these things come loose, and then this starts to move. All you gotta do is just tighten it. It is something that if you spin it for long enough, it does start to affect it. You can kind of hear that sound, and it is pretty annoying. Other than that, I have nothing but great things to say about it. It's really screen accurate in my opinion. Obviously these parts aren't. Other than that, it's perfect in my opinion. Again, it's super thin. A lot of these sabers of this version, the Padawan hilt, tend to be pretty thick, and it just looks clunky and robust. And in the movies, again, it's super sleek, thin, minimalist design, similar to his master, Qui-Gon Jinn's, which I really like. Really easy to twirl. So overall, I'd give it probably an 8.5 out of 10. So that wraps up my saber review. If you made it all the way through, thank you so much. My next saber review will be his Jedi Master hilt. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe. Hit notifications so you can get alerted when that comes out. And then we'll also be going over that Shin Hati saber behind me.